Habit number 1, financial power. 2023 Wells Fargo study showed that women who actively managed their finances exhibited higher levels of self-esteem, better mental health, ultimately better stability, even on modest incomes. Other studies show that women are actually better long-term investors than men, but we hesitate due to lack of education and confidence. This ends today. Start where you are. Pick a book, a financial podcast, open a Roth IRA account, watch a 10-minute video on compound interest. You don't need to have a Wall Street degree. All you need is courage, curiosity, and consistency. Next up, self-trust. If you promised a friend you'd meet for lunch, you'd show up, right? So why is it that when it comes to your promises to yourself, it suddenly becomes optional? The top 1% women do not break promises to themselves because every tiny promise kept built a foundation for something priceless. Self-trust. A Harvard study showed that people who kept small daily commitments reached their long-term goals more often than those who didn't because of the identity they built with it. Why, Dr. Princess, you ask? Because every tiny promise kept triggers dopamine, and over time it rewires your brain to associate action with reward. Self-trust isn't built in big wins, rather with tiny, consistent follow-throughs. The top 1% women do not wait for motivation. They move in trust. And once you do, saying no to the things that drain you become a lot easier. Next up, saying no. Let's talk about one of the most powerful words in the dictionary, no. Most women have been trained out of it. Smile, be polite, say yes even when your instincts are saying no. Top 1% women, they protect their bandwidths like it was a Fortune 500 asset. No to energy vampires, no to unpaid labor, no to ignoring your instincts just to appear nice. Boomers, they said yes in their careers to survive. Millennials and Gen Zs, we've learned that a burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's a boundary issue. I used to say yes to everything. Late night work emails, random favors, being an emotional dumping ground for friends who never asked how I was doing. Until I said, enough. I will put me first. A study in psychoneuroendocrinology shows that women who consistently suppress their emotions sustain a higher level of cortisol, and over time this paves way to chronic illnesses like cancer. Next, visualization, because the woman you picture is the woman you become. Top 1% women do not just wish it, they see it first. They create mental movies so vivid that the brain has no other option than to work on it. A study on Nature Human Behavior in 2017 found that vivid mental imagery activates not just the visual occipital lobe, but also the decision-making prefrontal cortex. Your brain thinks it's so real that it has no other option than to build towards it. I used to do this when I lived in a small apartment with my family, and I wished I didn't share a bed with my sister. So what I did when I visited my boyfriend at the time who lived in a luxury apartment was to visualize that I was the one living there. And today, I live in a luxury apartment. Energy control. Top 1% women know that energy equals currency. They audit what they consume mentally, emotionally, physically. As an oncology research officer, I've found people healthy get stricken with deadly illnesses. In 2022, I lost a close friend to cancer. It taught me something. Our life force is sacred. You can't keep leaking it and expect to thrive. Frontiers in human neuroscience found that negative media rewired your brain for emotional instability and stress. When I feel drained, I pause, audit, and refine. I do not wait till I have a burnout. I want you to observe over the next 48 hours what uplifts you and what drains you. Then make 1% upgrade. Mute one account, swap a mindless scroll for something richer. Call that friend who uplifts you. Your peace flows from what you feed it. What you scroll, hear, and absorb shapes how you feel. So you must guard it. Social leverage, because the woman you sit next to shapes the woman you rise into. Most women focus on what they know. Top 1% women focus on who knows where they're headed. This isn't about building fake connections. It's about leveraging your existing relationships to work for you. They're called loose connections. The lady you met at a conference, your former coworker, or that person who follows you but never interacts. They may not know you very well, but they might be sitting at a door that you've been hoping would open forever. Here's the truth. Your close friends love you, but they recycle the same ideas. It's the outer connection that brings in fresh perspectives and new opportunities. Social leverage isn't about building a bigger network. It's about letting the right people know where you're headed. Next, resilience. Because the woman who bends without breaking always comes back stronger. Most women take failure personally. I know I do. Top 1% women treat failure like data. I used to quit so quickly. When I slipped, I spiraled, couldn't make it to the gym, maybe I wasn't disciplined, couldn't stay consistent, maybe I wasn't built for this. But here's what I realized. Failure isn't shameful. It's an invitation to reassess what didn't work and why. For 27 years, when I couldn't shake off people pleasing, I didn't push through. I hired a therapist. When I couldn't stay consistent with creativity, I hired an accountability coach. Not because I was weak or broken, but because I was ready to evolve. The Journal of Human Personality and Social Psychology found that resilience is learned through cognitive reframing, and that's the skill of seeing failure as a teacher and not a verdict. Top 1% women do not spiral when they fail. Rather, they pause, study, reassess, and they rise. If you're still here, I want you to know this. You are not behind. You are becoming. The fact that you're here still searching, being curious, and believing is proof that you are the 1%. All right, my ambitious GMWs, thanks for your time. I am Dr. Princess, and if you're ready to incorporate these habits into daily routine, watch this video on the top 1% women routines. I'll see you next time.